What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. We are going to talk about Heroes for Hire versus Weapon X. We're going to talk about this one more time because I did a previous video on this, and a lot of players were walking away from that feeling dissatisfied with Weapon X versus Heroes for Hire and worried that it wasn't going to work. Part of that was to be blamed on the way the test server works. Part of that was that I didn't explain things enough. At least I don't think I feel like I explained things enough. So we're going to talk about that in today's video, and I've actually got footage of Heroes for Hire getting destroyed full auto in like a minute. And the big problem with the footage was that on the test server, everybody's at the same gear level, meaning that Omega Red, Sabertooth, and Silver Samurai have the highest health, tied between the three, and that there's some secondary thing that goes in effect that makes Misty Knight target Omega Red for ability block, and with that ability block on Omega Red, it makes things very not difficult, but much more prolonged finding the team. And you're gonna see here now that I was able to get a piece of gear on Sabertooth. That's another thing with the playtest server. We don't get extra pieces of gear, so I had to basically go and put extra gear on Sabertooth, make him the highest health character on the team. You can see he got the ability block, and that left Omega Red wide open. But you're gonna see here in a second that because we don't have that ability block on Omega Red anymore, well then pretty much you're gonna watch Omega Red go off here. Shang-Chi's done. You're about to lose Misty and Iron Knight, or Iron Fist. Wow, Iron Knight. Colleen has healed back up. Luke Cage is gone. But yeah, we just kind of bounce back and forth between those two characters over here. Take out Misty and take out Iron Fist and take out Colleen. Full auto in about a minute. So when this team is built properly, it's no problem at all. Like, you just absolutely destroy Heroes for Hire. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. There's also some other questions, like why Colleen is still attacking on her passive when Silver Samurai's passive blocks assist chance there. That is not a bug. I've seen a lot of questions and complaints about that. We're going to break that down. We're going to talk a little bit more in depth about the Misty problem and how to fix that, and why I think that this is detrimental to the spirit of the game. We're going to talk about all that in today's video. If you guys do find this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. We got plenty of Marvel Strike Force content we're talking about over here on this channel. We're rolling in. We're like 5,200 subs now. We're steaming along. Let's keep those sub train going. And without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the problems with Misty Knight and Silver Samurai. So last time that we did this video, we talked about how the ability block for Misty Knight on Omega was a problem, and it was forced you to ability block Misty so that you wouldn't have this ability block on Omega, because you need his ultimate going off on that second turn. So that ability block would really screw with things, and the fight got drawn out, took a lot longer, and it wasn't as easy. And you can see that I'm going to start getting hammered with stuff here. And I mean, look at that. Like, my Omega Red's falling low on health. It's not ideal. So that ability block really screws with things. And this is one where I actually ended up losing Omega Red, and it was not good. So ability block on Omega Red is not good. And the problem with this is that this is part of the kit for Misty, and that she targets the highest health character on your team. So if you go and look at your Heroes for Hire, right here, Misty, and it's her ultimate armed response on more defense, targets the highest health character. Three-way tie between Omega Red, Silver Samurai, and Sabertooth, and that has been a big problem. Players were very unhappy with the fact that Misty could really screw with your Weapon X team and make it much more difficult. And I have to say, I kind of get it. The big problem with this is that in order to counter this, it now means that you have to intentionally undergear Omega Red versus the rest of your Weapon X team, which means you can't take them up to as high a gear as Samurai or Sabertooth. You need better red stars on one of those two characters. It means you're intentionally having to make your Omega Red worse in terms of power, gear, stars, level, everything, so that he doesn't get ability blocked. And that's a problem. And I'm going to bring this up with Scopely. I'm just going to give him a long feedback post about it, because I've seen this before. In Galaxy of Heroes, there was a team called the Night Sister team. And on that team, they had this zombie and the zombie kept coming back. But in raids, you can throw in an intentionally undergeared Night Sister zombie, where that every time it died, it really boosted the power of your team. And you can intentionally go into the raid with an undergeared Night Sister zombie, have it die off incredibly quickly, and it just fuels the power of your team. And a Night Sister team with a low gear tier zombie did phenomenally better than a fully geared Night Sister zombie. Now, this isn't on the scale of that, but it's the same kind of problem where you have to throw in an undergeared Omega Red, and that is not a satisfying feeling. That's antithetical to the theme of this game. So I'm going to bring this up with Scopely, talk about how this could be a problem. We're gonna hash it out with Scopely, see if they can get some feedback on this. I hear your all's complaints about this. I should have talked about this sooner with Scopely. That was my fault. But yeah, I'm going to talk to them about this. We're going to figure out something with Omega Red, figure out if there's a way to make this team work without having to intentionally undergear your Omega Red in the process. So fingers crossed Scopely hears the feedback on that and they do get some kind of change in place. I know some people talked about throwing like immunity on Omega Red. The problem is Misty's ultimate will dispel all positive effects on the target, so that won't work. And so you're probably gonna have this problem where someone's gonna have to get nerfed. Like you're gonna have to see a reduction in health on someone, like that, or maybe they increase the health on Sabertooth or Silver Samurai. We'll see what they do with it, but I don't know if they're gonna see that this is a problem like I do, like we do, but we'll figure out from them. Next thing to talk about is Silver Samurai and his passive. This one, so there's language for this, and we're gonna talk about this because there's a lot of confusion about how this passive is working and how it's not blocking Colleen. And the simple reason for this is that Colleen Wing's attack out of turn is not an assist. And you'll see when you go into the language. So the T4 on Silver Samurai said that you need Omega Red for this to even work. And in this, if this character has 4 more Weapon X allies, reduce the assist chance of all enemies by 25% and wards by 100% instead. This is very much a counter to Infinity Watch and Nebula. This blocks Nebula, just Nebula. It doesn't block anybody else. If anybody else has a base assist chance that doesn't give them the assist now buff or something similar to Colleen, then it's blocked by this. But yeah, anything that has an assist chance in the passive, Silver Samurai will block it. So this is pretty much tailored exclusively to Nebula in this case. So what this means, so the question is, why doesn't this work for Colleen? Because if you go and look at her passive, it's completely different. Let me see here. When this character has deflect, gain 100% chance. No, that's not it. That's not it. Where is it? On the end of any Heroes for Hire ally turn, 25% chance to attack the most injured non-summoned enemy, ignoring taunt and stealth for 20% damage, plus 30% piercing for each Heroes for Hire ally. On ward defense, this always occurs and gain deflect for self. It does not say assist chance anywhere in there. If you go and look at Nebula, however, gain 20% assist chance plus 20% per Infinity Watch ally. Right there. That assist chance. I don't think I can get all the way over there. Oh, no, I can. You see that? This 20% assist chance? That is what's the difference. This is an actual assist chance versus attack out of turn. It's two completely different mechanics. That is why Silver Samurai does not block your that is why Silver Samurai does not block Colleen Wing. For another one I tried, I'll have to see if I can find, I don't know if I uploaded footage of it or not, but let's talk about Taskmaster, because that's another question. I thought maybe Taskmaster would get blocked by Silver Samurai's passive. It does not, because he gains assist now. That assist now buff is a completely separate mechanic from what Nebula and Colleen have. There's a bunch of different assists that we have going on. There's assist chance with Nebula. There's the attack out of turn with Colleen, which is technically not an assist. And then there's assist now. The assist now buff is not blocked by Silver Samurai. So that passive T4 on Silver Samurai will not block this. So that value on the T4 for Silver Samurai is getting even worse, because the only reason you're going to need that T4 is if you're throwing them on defense and you need them to be blocked by Infinity Watch counters. And most people, I saw like one person's talking about how he's going to put put Weapon X on defense. most people are going to leave Weapon X on offense to use to counter your Heroes for Hire teams. So that passive T4 on Silver Samurai for now is absolutely terrible. Like, there's really no need to do it unless you're throwing that team on defense. So, yeah, this is why I'm doing this video, because there's questions about that team, and I wanted to address them. I still think Weapon X is very much a powerful team, and you guys saw in the footage when we get ability block on someone who's not Omega Red, it gets much easier. Like, I'm just gonna go back and show us again. Ability block Shang-Chi. I'm gonna throw it on auto, and I'm gonna let it go to town. Like, I'll swap between targets. Like, I'll choose like when Shang-Chi dies, I'll tap on the left for Iron Fist and Misty Knight so that we can get the ultimate from Lady Deathstrike on them. But I mean, that's all I'm really doing. I'm just choosing targets on auto here. Even if I didn't, I still feel that this team would just absolutely demolish Heroes for Hire without me having to choose things. This is on auto. So again, I think this team is going to be absolutely great on offense. I don't think you're going to run into problems where they're going to just be terrible against Heroes for Hire. This is still very much a hard counter to Heroes for Hire. Definitely a team to still gear up. But yeah, I hear you guys on the issues with having to undergear your Omega Red, and that's something I'm going to talk to Scopely about. We'll see what they say about it. But let me know down below, what do you guys think about this stuff? Does this help make you guys feel better about Weapon X? You guys still have questions? If you guys still have questions on the team, please ask down below. We're trying to do this early footage because of reasons like this. This is why early access is so important, because we can find issues like this with the ability block on Omega Red, how it completely changes the dynamic of the fight versus Heroes for Hire, and why this could potentially be a problem that Scopely may have to look at. Well, let me know down below, what do you guys think about all this? Make sure to hit that like button, share, and subscribe. I will see you guys next time.